Hello, this is Julia, and today I'm going to show you how to weave palms, and I will also have a photographic tutorial at juliecash.com. So today we went to Palm Sunday services, and we have all these palms that were left over, and here are some palms that my daughter wove, and the size and color just depend on the material you start with. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So palms usually come like this. They come in like, twos or fours. So you can split them until you have just a single palm, and that's what I have here. And I am going to see. Yeah, this one's it's got a stiff rib. So I'm going to take this stiff rib off of it. This is where the palms, the two halves would meet. So I'm going to remove that because it's just not very flexible. Okay, now this really doesn't have a skinny end or a fat end, but the skinny end I believe was here. I'm going to rip down to here. So, oh, is this also stiff? That also seems like a really dry, hard edge, so I think I want to take that off too. And that's okay if it ends up making your palm skinny, that's fine. You can just have a skinnier or a fatter palm. Okay, so here's the fat end. Down here, I am not going to split. The rest of it I'm going to split as evenly as possible so that this side, the right and the left sides, are going to be the same width. Now, the important thing is to try not to disturb everyone around you sitting by you at church when you're splitting this, because it's pretty loud. Okay, so we have right and left, and I am going to fold this back and make a loop. I'm going to fold this over and wrap around 2 times. That's how I'm going to start it. Okay, so I have my loop on the left. Here's my right hand strand. I'm going to make a loop with it in the back. Then I'm going to push it through the left hand loop and then pull the left tight so that it's not a loop anymore and it's locked in this right loop. So left loop, moving it toward the back, not the front, but toward the back. I'm going to fold that into there we go, into that loop on the right, and then I'm going to pull that right hand strand nice and tight. Now I'm not going to make it too tight or this left hand might buckle and it'll fold in on itself and it won't lay as nice. And I'm going to leave this kind of big. It's going to be bigger than the width of this so that I can get the loop through it. Okay, so again I need to make that nice and tight, and this needs to be a long loop. So the left hand palm I'm going to make into a loop going back. I'm going to put this loop through the right hand loop and then pull that right hand strand. Same thing. Make a loop to the back. I'm going to push it through the left hand loop and pull that left. Lock the loop in place. Okay, and I'm just going to continue until I get to the end of my length. Now, I want to talk a little bit about pulling the loops. You want to pull them and not leave it overly loose. I'm adjusting the length here. These palms are very fresh because they came in just this weekend. You need to work with them while they are fresh. As they dry, and they will get pretty dry and brittle, they will become looser. And that is why you do not want to pull your leaves and leave them too loose. And like I said, you don't want to make them too tight, otherwise you will get buckling, especially if you have a wider strand. And I'm going to try to put this on macro. Oh, maybe I can't do it on macro. I was going to see if that would change the focus. So hopefully everybody can see this well enough. So I'm just keeping this nice little rhythm, making a loop and sticking it through the next loop. You can see I've got a nice woven tail here. Some people call it braiding. I don't really know if I would consider it braiding or not. It will curve. Most likely your work will curve, and I think that's just the nature of the material. When we get to the end here, I'll show you how I finish the weaving. You can finish it any way you want. I like to finish it, it's similar, in a similar way to crocheting or knitting. When you start or end and you have tails from your yarn, you will weave them in to the previous work, and it's the same thing here. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And sometimes if you rip your palm so that you start with the skinny end and you end with the fat, and sometimes you cannot work the ends into your previous work. So it just depends. But I know that when you're finished, it's a very nice looking reminder. It's a very temporal kind of thing. For us, it's extremely temporal because the next year we will take the palms and return them to church, where they will be burned to become ashes for Ash Wednesday services. So here I am. I don't have very much tail left. You can see I've got a nice curving work here. The tails are short, so I won't be able to put them through again. That would be very, very short if I did. I don't know if I can. Let's see if I can get this to. Oh, it'll fit. Okay, we'll get that through there. There's tiny little tail. Okay, so what I can do at this point is I can just put the tail through the remaining loop, pull the loop tight, and then just call that done if I want. And then, like at St. Joseph's Day, you might see these treated in a vase as if it were a floral arrangement. You can put it behind a picture frame. If you have a family altar, you might put it there. This is something that you can also, like I said, use this and weave it through if you want. And you can follow the path of your work and the zigzags that you did in the past. So a lot of times that's pretty labor intensive, especially because this end here is very, very long. I don't know if I can do that, but I have in the past. And it's just a finished look where you wouldn't see this end. So instead of this sticking out, you can also trim that away with a pair of scissors if you would like, and then burn the remnants in a fire. But if you want, you can just hit a couple of these just to get the tail out of the way. See if I can work it through here. Let me try to pull this through. So there's one end. Oh, but see, now that let go. Well, we'll pull that out. That's twisted. Then I could maybe put it through another end. Put this end through here. And maybe pull it through here. It's just long, but down where the palms were wider than the tip, that might be a nice place to put them. So then this would become the back of my weaving. See if I can pull that last bit through. Can I get it through there? Yeah, I don't see it, but anyway, so this look, I took this and I folded it back behind itself. So there's that. And like I said, you can also just let them stick out too. If I wanted to undo this, I could just undo it. And honestly, most of my palms do have these tails just sticking out. So anyway, that is palm weaving. And I will, like I said, have a photo tutorial on my website. That is juliecash.com. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you visit me later.